I like had to rearrange stuff for the new camera spot and the third monitor, but that was it.
Ah, yes, the third monitor.
Yes.
Man's out here freaking showing off.
I'm almost where I want it to be.
Yeah, how big do you want to get it?
No, I just need I need a monitor that can, cuz I have 3. Um but
A monitor that you can take with you.
that's called a laptop. I just got one of those anyway. No, but um the one that I want to get um it needs another mount, and the third monitor they have right now isn't mount compatible. So it's just or it's just one and one, and then the second one is just next to it. But I want to make the one off to the side a vertical one.
Yeah,
But
of course.
I could turn it, but this freaking screen doesn't have a mount, so I can't have it turned the right way until I get another. But
Yeah.
I'm fine
Are you
where I'm at
wearing,
right now. But that's the
are
end
you wearing a
goal.
headband?
Yes, I am. I am. I'm channeling my Johnny Lawrence today. Cobra
Your
Kai.
inner Cobra Kai?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I didn't
I
want to
thought you
wear a
looked a little
hat.
bit. I thought you a little
And
bit of.
what?
I thought you looked a little bit of karate-esque,
Yes, sir.
trainer-esque.
Hey, strike hard, strike first, no mercy.
Yes. True. Strike firm.
Strike hard, strike first, no mercy.
He actually has a plaque of this.
It's not a
Oh,
plaque.
oh
It's a
no, no,
vinyl
it's not a
set.
plaque. I thought, I thought it was just like a poster, like something that you have on your wall, like a
No, no,
plaque.
no, 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 no.
I
It's
didn't realize it was a
it's
set.
the vinyl for the first 3 seasons.
Wow,
So it's got a vinyl
dedication.
for all the Cobra Kai songs. It's got a vinyl for all the Miyagi-Do songs.
Ooh, Miyagi-Do,
And it's got all
wax
the
on,
fight
wax
music.
off.
It's like the
That's cool
tournament
though.
one.
I
Yeah.
like how it looks like a fist
Well, that's the logo
logo.
of the All Valley tournament.
Oh,
And
see, I've
then
never even seen Cobra Kai.
yeah, see, have you seen the Karate Kid movies though? All 3?
Yeah. Well, I've seen
You've seen
at least
probably
one
the
of
first
them.
one. Yeah. You
I've
should
seen
watch.
the Jaden Smith one.
Oh no.
No, I've seen that one. I think I've seen the original one too.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, it comes in a little slipcase. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, and then the
It
Cobra
looks
logo on
nice.
the back.
I like it.
Yeah. And then you haven't seen the show, but like in the first season, Johnny goes around passing out flyers, and they made a flyer, and those are the 2 composers.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
like all the slip notes.
I love little Easter eggs like that. You know, just fun little. You put the director in a coffee shop, just like as you know, a bus comes hurtling
Yeah.
through the scene.
Yeah.
It's just like he's sipping coffee in the
Be
back, and you just like
surprised
barely
how
notice
many
him.
little snippets of directors that are just in random shots. Alfred Hitchcock did all the time. Like he would just be a guy with a briefcase walking through the frame, and that would be it. But he did that all the time.
That's awesome. I love that.
I gotta squeeze these back in.
So
right now.
so cool when movies do that or even shows.
It's a lot more
I find
rare
it.
for shows to do that.
Yeah.
Because the directors really aren't. They change directors each episode, so it doesn't really.
Oh yeah, that makes less
It's
sense
like
to
the
do it then.
showrunners that are more consistent.
Right.
A lot of the actors will direct episodes now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Isn't one of the actors in Cobra Kai like one of the bullies?
The whole
Like one of
show
the
is
coaches,
about the whole show is about Johnny Lawrence, who is the dude that Danny fights at the end, and the blonde guy that loses. The whole show is
Yeah,
about
yeah.
him, and he brings
Okay.
back Cobra Kai, and he starts his own dojo.
Oh, okay, so that's actually the guy. That's the main character.
Yeah, he's the main character.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And he's like a fuck up, and he has to get
I
his life
mean,
together. And then Danny
makes
sees
sense.
that he brought Cobra Kai back, so he starts his own karate club
Oh.
karate dojo. He brings back Miyagi-Do, and they have karate wars throughout the valley.
Oh, that's
It's
actually
great.
sick.
It's really good. You should watch it. It's like completely 80s soap opera, but like karate. It's great.
Oh, 80s soap opera. That
It's
really
like
is
an
alluring.
80s soap opera. Like if you, it's like, it's cheesy, but it's like it's fun cheesy. It's like nostalgia cheesy.
All right, I'll put that on the
It's
docket.
really good, but it's like if you took like an 80s soap opera, but sprinkled it with karate and some cool fights and some dope music. It's what
Not
Cobra
gonna
Kai
lie,
is.
not gonna lie. 80s soap opera does not sound
It's
appealing to me
honestly, well,
whatsoever.
when I think of 80s soap opera, I don't think of that either. It's not like bad. It's just like the cheesy like one-liners and like the music is all. It's good.
Dude, when you say soap opera, like okay, back in Hungary,
Maybe soap.
we
Yeah,
used to.
soap opera isn't the right word,
Yeah, I don't think
but it's
so.
like an
Soap
80s
opera,
TV show. Like if like think of
like a
like
sitcom,
80s
maybe.
sitcom. Not even no,
That's
not
what it
even
is.
that. It's what am I?
No?
What's the show I'm thinking of that you're probably not gonna know the reference anyway?
Maybe I will. I don't know.
It's just
That
like an
70 show?
80s TV show with karate.
That 70 show is not even in the 80s. It's 90s, right?
Yeah.
Interesting that they have a that 70 show in the 90s, and we're
What
talking
was
about it
set
in the
70s?
2020s.
What's it called? Because I don't know if this is 80s or not. It
I
is. I
couldn't tell
knew it
you.
was. Miami Vice. Do you know Miami Vice?
Miami Vice.
That was
Of
80s.
course I
Like, just think
don't.
of like take Miami Vice, take out the crime, put in
Let me.
karate and high schoolers,
Ah, of course,
and
of course.
it's like or like Magnum PI or something like that.
Yes. Okay, now we're
Yeah.
talking.
So just think like shows like that, but with karate.
I see. Okay,
Yeah.
I got you. I was looking at Miami Vice.
Yeah.
What's the one with that one black dude who's like, I'm too old for this.
Could be a lot
You
of
know the
TV shows or movies.
no. It's like specifically that one meme. I'm getting too old for this. It's that one. This dude. Do you know this dude?
Oh, that's not even that's none of it. That's Lethal Weapon, isn't it?
Lethal Weapon. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No,
that's
I was saying Miami Vice reminded me of this guy.
pretty sure it's Lethal Weapon.
It
Lethal
could be
Weapon was like late
Danny
80s.
Glover.
Yeah, Danny Glover. Yeah, Lethal Weapon
Yeah.
was like late 80, like late like at 89 or 88. So,
Okay.
yeah, it kind of fit.
So before we were born, before our time.
That's when most of the good stuff was.
Yeah.
Hate to say it.
We
It's true.
we've hit our peak as a society.
Like music-wise, we hit our peak like a long time ago.
Mm, you think so?
For what I'm
Like
interested in, yes.
okay, yes, okay. For what you're interested in,
Yes.
that's the little asterisk on top of
It's like
what you
most
just said.
people, for what they're interested in, is going to change every idea or every
Yeah.
opinion. But yeah,
Yeah.
music for me peaked in like the 70s and the 80s. Like it's more the
Yeah, I don't
70s,
know.
maybe the
I
60s. That
I
those
like
3 decades.
I like finding new music. I don't know. I'm kind of a I don't want to say I'm kind of like flippant about, going from this to
You
that
bounce
to
around.
this. Like, yeah, I bounce around, but that doesn't mean that I don't appreciate older music. I do like the newer music though because I'm always trying to come up with new ideas for my music too. So it's like I kind of got to do my research in a way,
Sure.
you know?
So do your research of
But
the past too. Where everything came
yeah.
from.
Yeah, it's cool to listen to sometimes, but I don't know. I it's the okay, so the past, a lot of it for like what you do, for what you listen to, that's cool. Like that's rock and roll Hall of Fame type stuff, you
Yeah,
know?
but if you think of that, where did that come from? That came from blues. And where did hip hop come from? Came from blues.
Yeah, I mean pretty much everything
Came
came
from
from
blues or jazz.
black people. Like they make our society go around.
Well, it came from that area of civilization. Because
Yeah.
like everybody else was just interested in like classical shit
I mean that's all
and
I
like
listen to.
orchestra,
Not
opera.
classical. I used to listen to only classical. There was this little red car that when I was living in Corona with my bandmate, Noah, he was the drummer of my band, and his sister had this little red car. It was just like a beater, and there was no aux, no Bluetooth, no nothing. It was a piece of junk, to be honest. Um, and the only station that I would listen to was 91.5, which was K something, KLO, K, I don't know what it was called, but it was classical. And I would listen to it all the time, and I found love. And then I fell out of love because I stopped listening to it once I was able to listen to actual music in the car. But the radio, other than classical, is dookie. It was either classical
Or like static.
or Mexican music.
Okay.
Or it was just like reggaeton, like
Yeah.
you know,
I get you.
whatever was going on.
Classical's fun. You could like. It's not my go-to, but hey, if you sit down and listen to some Bach, sure.
Some Bach,
Some Bach.
some Handel, some Beethoven.
Some Adagio
some-
for strings.
Oh yes, of course.
But I'd rather much listen to the Daft Punk version, Adagio for Tron, which is still orchestral, but it's cool to see something different. Mark is texting during a production and recording. A live recording.
I just had to. I had to let
a
my
live
mom know that
recording.
I'm recording.
This is a live recording. What are you doing? This is a live recording.
I thought this was gonna be some bit.
Yeah, it is. Look at my camera, Mark.
I don't get
Look
it.
at my camera. Look at my camera.
Oh, yeah, I see it
Yeah,
now.
There you go. This is a
I was
live
waiting for
recording,
something.
Mark. What are you doing?
That's amazing. That's what you got.
Yes.
Okay, it wasn't something for your
No,
desk. It was
something in the background.
that is actually amazing.
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool. That is beautiful.
I think it's because when I hit it again, so it turned back
yeah,
off.
I was just like,
I was watching
confused.
you.
I
I
was
should
like,
have been watching the thing to make sure it stayed on.
I was like, what is he
No.
trying to do? I know that this is supposed to be some sort of a bit that
There we
you're
go.
like getting mad at me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no. We're on air. Come on.
that is so cool. I need to get one too now. Just put it like, I don't know, back here.
You
I
have a blank
can never
wall
tell.
right behind you. You can put it anywhere on that wall. You have such an empty room.
I know. I love it. Honestly, I need to get some sort of
That
something on the
plain
wall.
white wall is such a detriment to everything.
Oh, shut up.
It does make the purple like fill in nicely because it's just blank
Yes.
color, but it's just such dead
Yeah.
space.
Listen, clean room, clean
You can
minds. I
still
can't even speak.
Creen? Wow.
Green.
Creen room. What is this? Dungeons and Dragons?
No.
Yeah, the Creen.
What? The cream?
Creen?
Cream?
Yes, the Creen.
What? I'm
From
confused. What is the cream?
Jorhas.
What? What are you talking
Creen,
about? The
Creen
cream?
soldiers from Jorhas.
What is your house?
That is a location on the map of what the hell is their continent
so
called?
confused.
What the hell is the continent
I'm
called?
so confused.
Dude, I've been watching Critical Role for months straight.
Oh. I see. Okay, so it's some
D&D.
obscure reference that I don't know.
Continent. What's it called? The Tordali? Tordali? No. What the hell is it called? There's like 7 different continents.
Oh, well, I wouldn't know. I still
Is
have
it a
yet to
continent?
watch it. Probably.
Jorhas. Wild
the
Mount.
speaking-
That's what I'm thinking of. Wild Mount. It is inside of Wild Mount. Where the Kreen
Speaking
soldiers
of
hail.
Speaking of
Jorhas.
D&D,
Yes.
when I used to play, this is actually very telling. I used to play always as some sort of, like, all throughout D&D, and then now WoW, I've always played as some sort of fox character.
Fox?
And
You're weird.
yes, so I don't get it. Why do people think that this is
Because
weird?
Fox is like, of all the different races you could choose from, chose a fox-ish creature.
Foxes are so cool.
Okay.
They're such cool
Or you're
creatures.
just a furry.
I'm not. Why does everyone
'Cause
say
you're
that?
playing an animal, and that's what people do that are that.
Yeah, even in WoW though, when people, the thing is, a lot of the characters that you can play, well, not a lot, a few of the characters that you can play are animals. Like you have Taurens, which are like basically bulls.
Yeah, but those are
You
cool.
have,
Foxes are just
eh,
foxes.
I don't, foxes are
That's like
cool, man.
choosing like the cat race in Skyrim. No one does that.
I
No,
definitely
I
probably
always
did.
chose the lizard because that was more
The
cool than the
lizard,
cat or the human.
dude, lizards are gross.
Yeah, but it's way cooler than a cat or a fox.
You ever held a snake?
It's the lizard, pretty much.
It's not like a lizard.
The reptile.
I mean, it's still very different.
The cold-blooded. No, warm-blooded. Right? Reptiles are warm-blooded?
Cold. They're
Cold-blooded? No,
cold-blooded
they're
because
warm-blooded. I thought they were
they
cold-blooded.
need heat to warm them up so they can move. If they don't have heat, they actually like can't move.
Neither can
You know?
humans.
Well, yes.
We'll freeze.
Yeah, I mean that's
It's
extreme
most
temperatures.
things.
Like
If
it's
things are
most things,
frozen, they
but
don't move.
yeah, no. The reason I was bringing up snakes is because snakes, like when you hold them, they have this very weird like slick texture to them.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. So
Very
they can get through
interesting.
spaces and not be held onto easily. You just slip through.
I kind of like it though.
Well, it's like scales. It's like holding the fish. It's like they're smooth.
Fish
Kinda
are
slippery.
weird though. Fish are weird. They're like slimy.
That's because they're usually wet immediately. You
Yeah.
ever hold like a dry fish? That's not been like not like a dried fish, but like a
Yeah.
fairly freshly dead fish that's
Yeah,
not
I know what you're saying.
wet. It's the same thing. Scales, and it's because the scales are smooth and all that.
I could see that.
Lizards
kind of,
are
yeah.
always rough.
Yes. Have you ever had a lizard as a pet?
No, they're in my backyard. My dog will hunt them and eat them, but eat everything except. No, will eat only the tails.
Only the tails.
He would only eat the tails for the longest time.
It's his escargot.
But now he's too
it's
old
that.
and he can't even catch them.
It's that. You know that. It's very. Have you ever had an escargot?
I've had my car go places
Oh, has it been going anywhere recently?
every day, but no, I have not had escargot. If I even
Oh,
knew what it was.
Oh, you don't know what escargot is?
No, I know it's some fancy food probably.
It's snails. Like
Oh, yeah, I
French,
don't need that.
French people they eat the snails. Escargot. You know, like
No. I don't
it's
need that.
le escargot. You know, they eat the snails.
That's
They put
not
it on the plate. They
French
put the
at all.
salt.
Your French accent is just every word ending in
Hey, I mean, why not? Why not, dude? I never said I was gonna do a good one,
That's true.
but oh, dude, I typed something in the chat the other day.
I saw that. What in the hell? What did you
Let me tell you.
What did you put again? I need
Let
to
me-
look at it.
Okay.
Look at it.
Let me find the text.
I'm going to read what Mark decided to put in the chat yesterday. I don't use Discord often as a normal source of conversation. So, yesterday, Mark decides to just say, Russian mail order bride. That's it. No explanation. No follow-up. I only saw it today. What in the hell is going through your head that you thought was funny that you needed to send?
Bro, let me tell you if I can find the text.
It's not a text that has to do with me.
Oh, yes, it does. It actually does because it has to do with the
Okay?
Look, it has to do with the podcast because it's something that happened to me while I was on the road, and I decided this would actually be hilarious to talk about.
Oh, so
Okay.
that's you typing in the chat a topic?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you mentioned podcast. So, hello, everybody. Welcome,
Hey.
episode 18 of the What Were We Talking About podcast. Such a smooth intro there.
Smooth,
So
baby.
smooth. We're so professional that we're live on the air. We're not,
Yeah.
but we hope that we feel that way and that you do too. So,
Maybe
what were
one
you
day.
talking about this.
What were we talking
Yes, no.
about?
What are you talking about? Russian. I don't even remember what it said. I have to look at it again.
It said Russian mail order
Russian
bride.
mail order bride. Did you run
All
into
right.
a Russian bride who needed to get her mail in while you were on an order for DoorDash?
You know what? That's actually very close.
I'm a genius.
No, it's
Explain.
so. Okay, wait. I don't even know. Let me look up what area code this is from, just because I want to. I want to see. Let me see. 347. New York City. This is someone messaging me from New York City area code. It says, "Oh, and all the letters have accents on them." I'll send you a picture of this
Okay.
afterwards. It says, "Hey, are you Roman? This is Isabelle. We messaged on Coffee Meets Bagel before when I went down to hang with my cousin, but we didn't connect for drinks. I'm back here for a bit. If you still want to really go out this time, are you up to it?" Smiley face. I'm like, I think you've got the wrong
You should
number.
have just
Sorry.
said like,
I should have gone along
hell
with it.
yes.
I should have gone along with it, dude. Okay, and then
Then you have her
I'm like,
meet somewhere, and then there's nobody there. Nice prank.
so she says, "I think you've got the wrong number. Sorry." And then she says, "Oh, my did I just messaged some random dude? Oh my, I'm sorry. I can be such an idiot some of the time." And then she sends like this like eyes rolling up emoji. And then she sends this picture.
Interesting. You know why? Because it's
Why?
fake.
Oh yeah, no,
Why do you have
100%.
TikTok on your phone? I saw that notification. Why do you have TikTok on your phone?
Bro, cuz I was going to post some music TikToks.
Okay. Are you dancing to it?
No.
Then it's pointless.
I'm just making music.
But why TikTok? That's where all the dancers are. You got to dance to your song if you're
There's
gonna put it on TikTok.
bro, there's more to TikTok
yeah,
than
but that's
just
the
dancing.
only thing that like is stupid.
No. Okay, so let me get back to the
Back to
story.
your Russian
So,
bride. You're getting married and you're moving to New York.
Of course. So obviously, I'm like, yo, this is
What was her name?
fake
Did you say what her name was?
Isabelle
Isabelle.
with accents.
Isabelle.
She said, are you Roman?" I was like, "Oh, I'm Roman," you know? No, but so I was like, as soon as she sent the picture, I'm like, "Oh, this is somebody
is a
trying to catfish
catfish.
somebody. This is a catfish for sure,
Now
for
she's
sure."
just sending
I was-
you a picture to hope that she catfishes you. Or he
Yeah,
catfishes
I was like-
you.
I was like, "I'm smarter than this, for sure."
Yeah.
So I just blocked them right away.
Yeah.
And then and it's just funny because like if you just look, I don't know how much you can see of that.
You need to turn
I'm
your
gonna-
brightness down all the way and then do it.
Okay, I'm
Because
I'm gonna
the
try and see
glare
if I
makes
can
it really
show
hard
you.
to show.
I'm gonna try and see if I can show you
Back it
like
up a bit, bro.
yeah. I'm just trying to like position it.
Other way.
Yeah.
There you go.
Can you
I mean,
see the
it's
accents?
not in focus, but do the stupid makeup thing and put your hand.
I don't. It's not
No.
gonna. I'll
Just
just send
send
it
a
to you later.
picture
I'll
of
send
it
it to you
or-
later.
Just take a
But anyways,
screenshot right now.
Yeah.
But I think I know what you mean. Like, that's like what computers do. Like,
Here,
it
I'll
does all
send it
that
to you right
screw
now,
up or
just on your
whatever.
phone.
I mean, I'll put it on the screen too, but yeah, I used to get before I got a new number. When I got a phone upgrade, I had to get a new number because it was cheaper, so I did it. But before that, I would always get like random text messages for someone named Maria, but it was like just a genuine person that was just talking to their friend. So I would get like,
Oh, really?
yeah, so it would be like they would be talking about like personal things, and I just like would just block the number. Or I would get like the complete opposite of like some random
I just
person
had an idea.
asking about like if I had weed or
Oh,
like
that's
drugs.
beautiful. I just had an idea, bro.
What's your idea?
Okay, you know those things called number neighbors, where like it's your phone number but one number off, like you change the
you
last
go
digit.
up or down.
Yeah. I was thinking, like, I'm gonna send a text out right now to two of my number neighbors, the one above and below, and then see if I get a reply during the podcast.
Oh gosh.
And
You know how old of
what
it?
should?
You just do both and say, "Hey, number neighbor, you live above me. Hey, number neighbor, you live below me."
Yeah, that's
There you
fine.
go.
That's totally good.
Cover?
Hey,
Where's
number
the
neighbor.
cover?
You live below me. How's life? They're gonna be like, what are you talking about? Who are you? Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay.
How's life?
And then, yes. You live above me. All right, anyways, I sent the 2 texts out.
So we'll see how that goes.
So I was just like, oh, this person's trying to catfish me and then possibly harvest my organs. So I
That's
blocked
not
them
what
real quick.
people that catfish do usually.
Not usually.
Like the
but there's a
stereotype for
chance.
catfishing is just like old dudes trying to get some hookups.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hey, I mean, I'm prime meat, bro.
you said that in like a confident way.
Yes, because
Mark's
I'm confident
hoping
of it.
That one day he will
What?
find a man
Of
that will
course.
catfish him on the fly.
No. Oh, no. Nah, I'm looking for a bad chica, like a chica.
Chicka-chicka.
I don't know. Chicow, ka-chow. Room,
Did you
baby.
understand the reference I just made?
Chica. What is that? I don't know. It's like Pepsi. Is that Pepsi opening?
No.
Like,
No, that's
yeah. Oh, that was good, actually. That was actually pretty good.
hey, I do voices in my spare time to myself. And when you're watching a
Oh.
whole bunch of voice actors play D&D, you kind of just feel
Yes.
confident in trying out sounds and voices.
Dude, okay. Me too. I love just doing voices because it's you get to live in someone else's. Let me reverse this a little bit because it's going to get weird. I was going to say you get to live in someone else's skin, but that's
You
not
should
what I'm
just say
trying to say at
shoes.
all. Yes.
That's what actors are. They
shoes.
live in other people's shoes for 6 months. That's why they love it, because they
Exactly.
can do different shit.
Yeah, it's like I don't have to be me for a moment. Because being me is hard
Just
sometimes.
like Matthew Broderick playing Ferris Bueller, which is where the chicka-chicka is from. That I was referencing.
I
Part of
see.
this song. One of
I
his
see.
songs.
They totally trashed the car. So bad. So mad.
How do they trash the car, Mark?
They drive it through a window. No, they
You're
don't.
not completely wrong.
They drive it off like a balcony or something. I don't know.
Yes, you're not wrong. They took out Cameron's dad's like precious old car. I can't remember what kind of car it was.
It was similar to your car, but it was
no,
red.
it was not similar to my car.
Wasn't
it was
it?
European for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it? Okay, I thought it was like
looked
a
no,
convertible.
yeah, it was a red convertible. It looked like an old Jaguar. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But Cameron is like, he'll know we took it. The mileage is different. So
Mm.
they go back to Cameron's house. They lift the car up on jacks, and they put the car in reverse. And they put a
Oh,
brick or
no.
something on the pedal to see if it'll turn back the mileage because they're going in reverse or something because they're stupid high
Oh my
schoolers and they think that's
gosh.
actually going to work.
That's
And
smart
then
though.
someone, I can't remember who hits it, someone like puts their arm and like leans on the car or something
no.
and it falls off the jacks. And because it's a
Oh,
fancy, rich house, the whole garage is all glass windows all around or whatever. So it falls off the jacks and it goes reverse out the back window and they live on like a hill, so it just goes down the hill.
So I was really close,
You were
actually, with
close.
what I
They,
said.
they don't drive it out the window, but they do send it backwards out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you were
knew
close.
I knew I remembered
Yeah,
it
you were
somewhat well.
close. Yeah.
What did that have to do with what we were talking about?
Because we were talking
actors
about
and-
actors
yeah.
and
See.
being in other people's shoes, and I wanted to get the reference that I made out there before we completely switched ideas.
Yes.
Yes.
We don't need to switch ideas.
I know.
Talking about voice acting, actually.
Yes, I was waiting for you to continue your thought.
Yeah, you got to be in someone else's shoes. And actually, I was talking to Saya recently, a couple days ago, and he has been working on this, like, multiplayer online RPG Minecraft server. And, he has all these quests that he wants to do, this world that he wants to build. He showed me some of it. It's actually kind of impressive. He's like written all the code and yada yada yada. Or not like all the code, but like he's put elements together and all these assets. And this world is like massive, and it's kind of like it almost feels like RuneScape in Minecraft in a way, if I could kind of quantify it or describe it. Anyways, so I was telling him, for whatever reason, I just like did my Scottish voice. I was just like, "Oh, boys, we need to go." I don't even. That's not even close to being Scottish in the least bit. Anyways, so I did a little bit of voice acting, and I was like, "Bro, I'll voice act your whole everything, like if you need me to." And then he got excited about it. So yeah, if anybody listening, needs some voice acting done, I'll definitely do better than what I'm doing on this podcast right now. It's just that, under pressure in the limelight on the camera, it's a bit different. I'm not an actual actor. I just do it with the voice.
Gotcha.
Like in real life, if you heard me, you know that I'm good.
I've heard you. You just like do like the same 4.
Yeah, I mean that's enough, right?
No.
Hey, I could do the
improv.
Listen, 4 for not even being involved in voice acting.
You don't need to be
totally
involved
fine.
in voice acting to have more than 4.
Okay.
You just have
show
to
me
care
more than 4.
enough. No, I'm not going to show you more.
Show
than
me
4.
more than 4.
No, I'm not going to
more
show
than
you
4.
more. I am not claiming to have
Yeah.
practice
Okay.
this. I'm just saying, hey, do you only know 4 songs on the guitar?
He's only 4 songs on the guitar. Hey, I don't know the songs.
Okay,
on
there's
the
your
guitar.
French again.
It's French.
And you
it's
tried
better
to
than
do
before.
Irish or Scottish or whatever it was.
Okay, I didn't actually give it the good old college try, as they say.
As the guy who didn't complete college?
I didn't complete it because it didn't.
So you didn't give it the college try?
No. Well, no, I gave college a try. So I technically gave it the good old college try. I didn't. You don't have to finish college. College is not for everybody.
No. Hey, I was hoping, hey, I'll just be a gamer. I don't need to go to college. I'll just be a gamer, bro.
Yes. The unmet expectations.
The unmet expectations of every young high schooler that loves to play games and thinks that, hey, I'll just start a YouTube channel and start playing games I like and people will pay me. Because everybody else does it.
The delusion, yes. Let it set in, young one.
Oh gosh.
Poor everyone.
Poor every young child who thought that was a good idea today. To those who thought it was a good idea in 2008, good on you. You're doing very well right now.
They're probably rolling in the freaking dough.
Oh yeah,
rolling in it, baby. I feel like there's you can still make it today.
Yeah, you just have to be super consistent. It's like with anything.
You gotta be consistent, and you gotta be interesting.
Yeah, it's like anything entertainment-wise. You have to be consistent and adapting and being on all the time, constantly performing. If you're gonna be a on-screen content creator of any kind.
You've got to put in the work, boys.
Okay, there's the Scottish again. So we've only gotten to 2 today.
All right. Let's see what else.
No, you're not gonna. No, if they just happen, they happen.
They just happen.
You did one before we started recording. I don't remember what it was.
It's like this. No.
Yeah,
no.
You were doing some Borat kind of.
My wife.
Yeah.
We're
going to hit record. Yes. Check
we
1,
hit the
2,
record.
3.
Check 1, 2. I make a stew for you.
I put the baby in her. I feel bad.
In my sister.
No, in my daughter.
My daughter. Oh no. Oh,
that's the second Borat.
So, yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
She eats a cupcake that has a little baby doll on the top of, a little tiny baby on it, but she eats the whole thing. So they go to the doctor, and it's real. They just go in, and these people are so clueless that it's actually Sacha Baron Cohen or whatever.
Wait, they went to a real doctor?
Yes, that's what all of Borat is he just goes as Borat to get, it's all
oh, wait, this is actual real comedy?
Yeah, it's real reactions and
oh, that's hilarious.
things
I didn't
that
know
they
that.
try to do. So
I didn't know that.
So he goes to the doctor with his quote unquote daughter, the other actress,
Yeah.
and they think that
I didn't know this.
they think that she's wanting an abortion
Ah.
because they just said, "Oh, there's a baby in me and I want to get it out." So they're like, "Oh, abortion." And then they're like, "Where's the father?"
Mm.
And then Borat's like, "Oh, it was me. I'm the one that put the baby in her." And then the doctor's just like, "Oh gosh." But yeah, that's
Yeah.
all that what the Borats are.
So it was the baby that was on the cupcake.
Yeah. It was a baby, it's just not what most people think of saying when you go
Was
to the
it an
doctor.
edible baby?
I don't remember. I would guess not because they want to get it out.
True. True, true, true. It's probably a plastic baby.
Yeah. But that's
Don't
all that
ingest
Borat
plastic
is it's
babies.
all pretty much like
I
Sasha
didn't know
goes
that.
in like with kind of an idea of how he hopes things will turn out with the people that he's going to interact with and like how
Yeah.
he hopes he can like spin their conversations and make it happen, but it's all chance and it's all off the cusp of these people's reactions to Borat.
That's actually very interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah. Fun.
Oh man. Russian mail order bride makes more sense
Yeah.
every day.
Every day.
I didn't
Are
get
you
any
sure it
text
was
back.
it Kazakhstan mail order bride?
Yeah, Kyrgyzstan, Kyrgyzstan, all these stands,
All these stands.
Pakistan.
Pakistan.
Wait, which is the one? Afghanistan, you know?
Yeah.
Things are going crazy over there right now.
Yeah.
Speaking about what's happening in the world,
Fuck off. If
do
you're
you
gonna say politics, fuck off.
Okay. I won't.
I don't need that shit.
I won't.
First of all, because neither of us are actually educated, and second of all, I don't need
Okay,
that
I
shit.
just want I wanna ask you a question.
Okay.
Did you vote in this
Did I vote?
governal?
Yes. Will I tell you no?
No, I'm not asking who you
Yes.
voted for.
Yes,
I don't
did my
care.
stupid ballot that I got in the mail.
Um, yeah. Did you see the results?
Yeah.
Interesting, huh?
Weird. They're weird.
It doesn't make any
They're
sense.
funny. That's
Funny,
why
like
that's why then people love them mail-in ballots.
yes, yes, yes. All right, and that concludes the political segment
Yes,
of
because
what
that
we're
is the
talking
extent
about.
of my knowledge is that hey,
Uh,
that doesn't seem right based off of last.
mm-hmm,
Okay,
mm-hmm.
moving
Yes.
on.
Yeah. I
And
quickly
that
wanted
it
to.
went in my brain when I saw that. I said, "Huh, okay, whatever," and then it went out my brain, and now I
That's kind of
don't care anymore.
that's about as much as I did as well.
Yes, it's like,
I
huh,
just wanted to ask you about it.
Twitch, in my head, weird, whatever. I'm gonna
Interesting.
go
Yeah.
back to playing my PS5. I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
On another note.
On another note, I
Oh,
got a
I saw.
PS5.
Oh,
I was
yeah. Have you
searching
not
for
told the?
no, because all of our episodes have been movies that have been rolling out the door
True.
because everything's coming out right
True.
now because they were all delayed. So I was
Are we
never
gonna
able to
wait,
talk
Are we
about
gonna
it.
go see Dune?
I would love to see Dune, but that's not till the 22nd of October.
Yeah, that's a month
The
from now.
1st
That's
of
not-
October is Venom,
Oh,
which I know
mean
you
Carnage?
expressed
The Carnage
interest in.
Yeah.
I thought the
Okay,
first
so that's.
one was okay. I'm
I didn't see it.
expecting.
Should I see it? You think?
Yeah. I mean, you probably don't have to, but if you want to figure out like how he gets the symbiote,
You know what?
and they call it
You know what's
that's
funny?
the other stupid thing is in the first one, they call it symbiote.
Oh
Everybody
no.
calls it symbiote. Come on. I don't care what your scientific pronunciation is. Every
Symbiote.
person in the world knows it's symbiote or symbiote.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
not symbiote.
Anyways,
Venom.
it's Yeah, I don't.
How
I
dare
don't
you
think,
get
I
it
don't know.
wrong. I hope they fix it in the second one. Andy Serkis.
You know what's funny? Is I was picking up an order the other week, and someone, he was just like, this dude, he was like, hey, you kind of look like, frick, what's his name? Tom Hardy.
No, you don't.
Well, that's what the guy told me. First
Did you
of
have
all,
this long of a beard?
no, I don't think so.
Okay, that's also another thing. Is like, yeah, he's always got like his scruff or whatever. So maybe I could see it more there. But
It
with
was
how
it was
you
a few
look
weeks
now,
ago,
no.
so Yeah, it was weeks
Okay.
ago. So, but he's just like, yeah, you kind of look like. I'm like, yeah, I've gotten that before actually. Thank you.
Have you?
And then I left. Yeah, I have actually
Okay.
multiple times.
I never get, hey, you look like that person. I've like never gotten that I can remember. Actually, no.
You,
Speaking of me wearing like a headband, I back in high school I wore like bandanas around the head for a while just because I had when I had long hair and
oh
I would
yeah,
wear
yeah,
the
yeah.
headbands or like bandanas and I was told I looked like Bon Jovi, so I stopped wearing them.
Oh really?
Yeah. It's like, "Hey,
Do
you
you?
kind of look like Bon Jovi." And I'm like, "What?"
Let me see what Bon Jovi looks
Yeah.
like. I don't think you
Well,
look like
type
Bon
in
Jovi.
like young Bon Jovi. Don't type in Bon Jovi. You're gonna get old Bon Jovi.
Well, yeah, of course. I still don't see it, bro. Nah, not even
Here,
close.
look at. I'll send you this picture. This is kind of. I mean, if you knew me when I had my long hair, if you saw a picture of me, you've seen me with long
I've
hair,
seen a
yeah.
picture of you with long hair.
So if you look at this, and I know I have a picture of myself wearing a headband that I can probably find somewhere here if I go back like a year or two and I try and
Oh,
right?
you know a funny thing? You know a funny thing that I said with the mail order bride? I saw the girl in the text. I was like, "Eh, I don't like white girls anyways."
Yeah, we know that. Where
Do we
is
know?
it? Okay, here's the picture that I have. This is not a good
But
angle, but
the only person that you've ever like reminded me of was this one guy that one of my buddies. It was his buddy, and his name was Landon. And basically, we wrote a song with him, me and my band, and that was the only person like you've ever reminded me of. But now that I've known you longer, it's yeah, it's not really there.
yeah. I mean, I need a better angle, but this is the only one I have that I could find on the fly.
I mean,
So like, I mean, it's
I,
there.
it's sort of there,
It's
yeah.
just the bat. Like you can't see my face is the thing.
How long have you had that bracelet for?
I've had both of those green ones for a long time.
Seems like it. What even are they for?
Yeah. Um,
One is like a
one's just like
cord, right?
the rope bracelets or whatever. Yeah,
Paracord.
and the other one's the this is like a copper thing. It's a copper metal bracelet. It was my dad's. He got like one, but he got the wrong size.
Yeah.
But it
Oh.
fit me, so he's like, "Here, you can have it." So I'm like, "Sure," but it also helps with this my stupid wrist.
Oh.
So
A cute little sentimental gift from your
no, it
father.
was, "Hey, I'm gonna return this because I don't need it. Take it. I don't care." So yeah,
But
it
you
was a
cherish it.
hand-me-down. No, I don't cherish it. I wear it because I like bracelets.
You don't want to admit that you like your dad.
I never said I didn't. Not all of my bracelets have sentimental value.
No, I'm just
Do you think?
poking at you.
Yeah, no. This one does not have sentimental value. I just like the colors, and
Oh yeah, what colors are they? They're like red
it's
and orange or what?
it's yellow
Blue.
gradient all the way down to purple.
Ah, okay, so it's like a hot and cold type of bracelet.
Sure, and then it's got like the little plastic bits are blue.
Yeah,
And
hot and cold, like on a heat
it's
scale.
Bruce Lee. He's a little Bruce Lee logo
Bruce
on
Lee.
it of him kicking, and he's got
Oh,
his
yes.
lion on the other side.
What is that one quote that he has? That's like, "Be like
Be
water."
like water.
Yes.
I can pull up Bruce Lee. As great of a martial artist as he was he was a philosopher. Like no joke. So he was
Okay.
doing like an interview and he was talking about like his fighting style. And he would
Mm-hmm.
explain a lot of things and it was kind of like philosophical by how he would explain it. So,
Mm-hmm.
giving a paraphrased version of it and trying not to do a Bruce Lee impression because it's just bad.
I want to hear
Yes,
it.
I know, but okay, so he would basically be like, the guy would ask, so like, what's your fighting style? And he'd be like, something about like, it's not that simple. You see, you can put water into a cup and it will become the cup. You put water into a teapot, it will become the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. And he was basically making like the comparison about his fighting style changes based off of what its containments are or what its requirements are. And then and then he ended it
Mm-hmm.
by saying, "Be water, my friend." So,
Yes,
yeah,
that's beautiful.
yeah. But
Of
like
course, we needed
if
that in
you
there. We
watch
needed
like
that.
a lot of his interviews, he's just like super. Are you
Is your
okay?
dog good? Is he
He's
good?
like gagging on.
Well, I mean, doesn't he always do that?
Yeah, he's old, bro. He can't catch those lizards anymore. He's old. He can't
Simba,
really see anymore either. You
little
walk up
Simba.
behind him, will freak out if you touch him. Or like if he's standing like next to you and like you go to like lift your leg to itch it, he'll flinch because he thinks just like everything is gonna hit him because his sight is kind of bad now. It's like his eyes are all foggy.
Just always in fight or
Yeah,
flight.
but
But he doesn't really flight because he's old.
no, he still gets around. He's
Oh, does
just
he?
a little bit more impaired. Like he'll still dart out and bark out at some birds or whatever.
Oh,
He's not as
oh,
much of a
but
dart. He's like a
yeah, I
yeah,
got you.
but he's still got some spring in his step. He fell down the stairs like 2 weeks ago. Yeah,
No, why?
because this like the stair light, like if the lights are off, he can't really see well. They're like
Oh,
far
poor
away.
baby.
So everybody was downstairs, and then like, oh, where'd the dog go? And then we
What the dog
hear,
doing? Oh
and
my gosh.
he's
It's
just going up the stairs slowly to go to his bed or whatever, I guess, in my sister's
Was
room.
he okay?
So we
Is he
just hear.
okay?
We have carpet on our
That's
stairs, so
a nice
he's
drum
okay.
fill.
Well, we have carpet on our stairs, so he fell down probably like 10 steps. If he got to the top, it sounded like he was almost to the top when he fell. So he probably fell down like 8 or 10 steps. And they
That's
have
still so
carpet on
many.
them, so it's not a hard hit really.
Yeah.
And then he fell onto the landing in the middle.
Yeah,
So
I thought so.
yeah. But we went over there, and
Dang.
then he was like fine. He was just like really like, what the hell just happened? And then he
Just
went right
shocked.
back up the stairs again. He was fine. Nothing happened.
You hear,
His
oh,
arthritis. He's fine. He
I
didn't make
got
any noise. It just
arthritis.
was do 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 do, and then a silent. And then you hear him get up and like he shook. You could hear his collar, and that was it. But he was fine. He'll trip every now and then on the steps, but that's about it.
Dang,
Yeah,
bro. Why is he always
'cause he's
tripping, bro?
old. It's what them
Dang.
old people do. They fall and they can't get up. They have
Help, I've
their
fallen and
little
I can't
neck
get up.
button thing.
You know what I read today actually is actually that story is that there was this lady, she was like 74 or something. She fell in her house and there was a 7-year-old who came over to her house cuz I don't know, he saw her or he heard her and he wanted to be like a superhero like Spider-Man and he helped her up and I guess helped call the police or I don't maybe not call the police but maybe call an ambulance or something to come pick her up and she made a nice recovery.
Is she the
But
lady that's in the commercial? That fake
no, no,
falls?
no, no, no. There's this Instagram page called like Positive News Around the World or something like that. And one of my buddies had posted, you know, a post of theirs and I just clicked on the page and that was one of the posts. So, it's relevant.
Cool.
Yeah, we need more positive news in this day and age.
Well,
Cuz everything
the gaming community got some very positive news like last week or this week, I guess.
Oh,
Since you don't
yes,
keep
tell
up
me.
with any of it. The
How do you know?
PlayStation had their showcase this last week, and they announced a shit ton of things that everybody's excited for, including me.
Ooh. Okay.
You said
Do
of
tell.
Spider-Man. The sequel
Yes.
to the Spider-Man games has been announced.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
wow.
All these
All these
connections, bro.
connections. You've seen Spider-Man PS4. You've seen Spider-Man Miles Morales that I talked about always needing to play because I had the game and not the PS5. And it was great.
Yes.
I'm playing through the remaster of Spider-Man. And now they've announced Spider-Man 2, where you can probably play as both Peter and Miles, because they're in the trailer together, so we're hoping you can maybe switch back and forth or something.
Ooh.
And then there's a narration of someone talking, and people think it's Kraven the Hunter, which you probably know
Ooh.
nothing about who that is. Maybe.
I know she has a
You mean
falcon.
He's got a...
I actually don't know anything.
He's basically always looking for, like, the next thing to hunt, to fight, to beat. And he finds
I said
Spider-Man,
he has a falcon,
and he's
but
like he wants to beat Spider-Man, so he becomes a bit of a, you know. And then
Just
in
a
the trailer,
Ravager.
he's talking about how I think I have found my next game or whatever, and it shows footage of Peter and Miles talking, and he's like, I hope you do not disappoint me. And then it goes dark, and then you hear, yes, we will. And then it shows Venom. And then the trailer
yes,
ends,
okay.
and then it says Spider-Man 2,
Now he
2023.
He busts out his voice acting chops.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Blood and thunder. Loktar, Ogar. Peter.
For all our
But
nerds out there.
yeah, at the end of the first Spider-Man game, there was a little tease of Venom, so he's coming in for the second one.
Oh, that's pretty
So,
great, boys.
Well, nice one. Whatever that was. Irish.
D-
All right,
Don't
Conor
worry about
McGregor. So then more. Tell him it was a doctor, stop
I'm
it!
gonna fight that. I'm gonna get in the ring and fight that bastard. That's more
Peaky
Scottish.
Blinders. But that was announced for 2023, so we got some time. So that sucks. But they
2023,
announced
baby.
another game. There was a trailer from the same studio that made Spider-Man, and it was a bar, and it was
Yes.
like there was a bar fight, and there was a whole bunch of like bodies just on the ground, and there was a dude in a flannel shirt and a cowboy hat sitting at the bar drinking, and a guy with a knife gets up and comes up behind him, and then it cuts to the guys that he's drinking. It cuts to his hands, and they're all bloody, and then it goes shink, and Wolverine claws come out, and then it cuts away. So Insomniac is making a Wolverine game. Yeah,
Bro,
with
that's
no
crazy.
date,
Insomniac
no
is good.
year announced. So who knows how far away that is.
Dude, Insomniac makes
Yeah.
good games.
And then there were two other big reveals that are relevant for me. Is
Mhm.
do you know Star Wars games at all very well?
I mean,
Do you
I've
know
played
of
a couple.
Knights of the Old Republic?
I've
Well,
heard
that
of it.
is getting a remake for current
Oh,
generations for PS5. So that was like a
Pog.
rave for everybody, and it's piqued my interest. But the
very
biggest, most gorgeous reveal of them all was the sequel to God of War. God of War
Bring me the-
Ragnarok, which
Bring
they
me the
showed.
boy.
Yes, they showed a lot of stuff. They showed a lot of gameplay. It looks beautiful. And then they
Odin.
showed Thor.
Thor's hammer.
Thor is
Mjolnir.
in the game. They showed Thor.
That's sick, dude.
And a lot of other places like Svartalfheim,
Ooh, Svartalfheim.
which is where the dwarves come from.
The dwarfs.
And Fimbulwinter has arrived.
Timberwinter.
Everything is... No, Fimbulwinter.
Timberwinter?
Fimbulwinter is what precedes Ragnarok, which is the end of the world.
Ooh.
And the game is called
Apocalypse.
God of War Ragnarok. So, Fimbulwinter is at its end probably when we come to the game. Atreus is a lot older now. His voice is deeper. Wow.
Big deep voice, man.
So, they have to trek across the realms to probably kill Thor and maybe kill Odin.
Oh yeah, because God of War is a god killer.
Yeah. They are seeking the God of War from the Norse realm, Tyr.
Tyr.
And he shows up in the trailer and he's like 4 feet taller than Kratos, and Kratos is like 7 foot.
Mm.
So like all
That's
the gods are
crazy.
gigantic. So yeah,
Dude, I couldn't even imagine an 11-foot mofo.
he's tall. He's tall, dude. But like that's how the gods were always portrayed as larger
Yeah, of course.
in
More powerful.
in those games. So like Kratos is not he declined becoming a full god in the other God of War games. So he's like part god because he's Zeus's son or whatever. But he denied the god or whatever. So he's like more man or whatever. So he's
Why
not
did he
that
deny
full
it?
size because if you go through the first 3 God of War games, you realize how much of an ass gods are. And they're just all
Yes.
pricks. So he goes on a rampage and decides that they need to all die because they ruin everything. And then he
Ew.
kills them all. And then he kills his father. He kills Zeus. And the entire world of the Greek mythology, that entire realm, basically collapses in on itself because Kratos destroyed everything. And then
Yeah.
he's now in Norse mythology, so who knows if he's going to destroy this realm as well. Because this is the final chapter in the Norse realm for these games. There's only going to be 2 in this.
Well, yeah, I mean, Ragnarok is...
Yeah. But everybody was thinking, oh, the first game. Because in the first game, for the Norse trilogy, that we thought was going to be a trilogy, you kill Thor's sons.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody thought, oh, the first game, you're going to kill Thor's sons. And you also kill Balder. So he's like Thor's half-brother. You kill him as well.
Yeah,
So-
actually,
and then
my buddy was telling me about
Yeah.
this.
And then at the end of the first game, Thor shows up, and then the game ends. But it was
Yeah.
like Atreus was having a vision because he has those powers because he's a giant race or whatever. So it was like, oh, the second game, you're going to build up to killing Thor, and then in the final game, you're going to build up and you're going to kill Odin because he's the biggest bad of the Norse gods or whatever.
The biggest bad.
But apparently they're just stopping after Ragnarok, which makes sense because it's Ragnarok. But
Mhm.
knowing Kratos, he likes to prevent fate. So, because he prevented his entire fate in the Greece mythology. So,
Yeah,
who
I'm
knows
gonna
if he can prevent Ragnarok or not.
I'm gonna prevent my entire fate too.
Sure.
Just watch.
Sure. Do you even know what it is?
Um,
Have you looked
I mean-
through the spider's web of fates and, like, the future, like Kratos has? Have you seen what's going to be your life?
I haven't really gotten
Have you
around to
weaved
it
through
yet.
those webs and traveled back in time to
See,
stop
the way that my
that?
bank account is set up, I got the check-ins and the savings, and
And it takes
way
like,
that it's
like 3 to
wired
4 business days.
takes
and-
exactly, and I just don't have it right now. So
yeah. Shout out Kevin Hart.
yes,
Bro, I want to see Kevin Hart next to Tyr.
dude.
Kevin Hart's like
See-
5'2".
Yeah, Kevin Hart's tiny.
He's 5'2". He did like the lie detector thing that like Variety or GQ does or whatever, and they were like,
Mhm.
"Are you 5'2"? And he goes, "I'm 5'8". I'm out. And I'm 5'4", 5'4", 5'2" and a half. I'm 5'2". They're like, Kevin, stop lying to us. It's great. But,
5'2". Just bust out a ruler, dude.
yeah,
He's probably as big as the ruler.
he's like as tall as a yardstick.
Yeah.
How long
Exactly,
is a
there you
yardstick?
go.
How many feet are in a yard?
3 feet.
3 feet
are
are
in
in a yard? That's what I thought.
I'm like 1 yardstick and 2/3 of another one. I don't know.
You're a yard and 2/3 tall.
No. I'm 5'9", so whatever that comes
So
out to.
you're a yard stick.
I'm
and then
95% of a
2/3
yardstick.
another yardstick would get you to 5 foot,
Yeah,
and then
then
you're
I'm
like a few pieces
75% of that.
of that yard of what's left. Yeah, whatever.
Yep. So I'm literally, what math? How does that work?
It doesn't matter
So-
because this is not a professional academic
Oh,
podcast, so it doesn't matter.
it doesn't.
Hey, we can
I
claim
mean,
everything because we claim nothing to be factually true or
I'm
educated.
actually 6'2", to be honest.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm Tom Hardy.
No, I'm Tom Hardy. What do
I'm
you mean?
Joaquin Phoenix, starring in
Oh.
Joker 2, which has been greenlit.
Okay, I'm freaking Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, I'd rather be in Joker 2. I'm
You
not
know
kidding, by
what?
the way.
What?
Joker got a greenlit sequel.
Oh, I didn't
Joaquin
even.
is attached, and so is Todd Phillips as the director and co-writer, with Scott Silver writing as well. So we'll
Ooh,
see where that goes.
that's kind of
I've
cool
heard
though.
Todd and Joaquin talk about how they had no interest in doing a sequel unless they knew that this was right and that they could pull it off in a way that made sense for both of them because they knew that where it was a good place and they didn't
Yeah,
want to overstep. So if they're attached, they must be pretty confident that what they're trying to write is going to work. So I have faith in them too. I don't have faith in Warner Brothers to make good decisions because they never do. I'm looking at you, Jeff Johns, and everybody who was involved in the horrible version of Justice League that was released in 2017 because it was trash. And every decision they've made sense for most of their superhero movies. But I'm stalling while I look up something that I want to make sure I get right. Is that the studio for Dune,
the studio
the
for
studio for
Dune.
Dune is Warner Brothers.
As Warner Brothers. Okay.
So I have faith in them because I have faith in Denis Villeneuve.
Villeneuve?
I can never pronounce his last name. Denis
I don't know what it is.
Villeneuve. I'm gonna look at it because it's really hard to pronounce because he's Dennis.
Dennis. Yo, you know what?
Villeneuve. Villeneuve.
Villeneuve? Nueve?
Let's look it up.
Nueve.
He's
Nueve.
French Canadian.
Oh, Villeneuve? Maybe?
Villeneuve. That's what I was thinking. He did Arrival, I believe he did Arrival. He did Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, okay.
So, have you
That's-
seen the original Blade Runner?
I've not seen either.
We should watch both of them eventually.
Yes, this is correct. We should.
Yes. Maybe not spend a whole episode on it if we don't
Yeah.
want to, since there are all other movies coming out now. But it can be a piece.
Yeah,
of
we can
something else.
sprinkle it
Yeah,
in there.
sprinkle
Yeah.
it in there. Yeah. What were we gonna say?
What was I gonna say? Frick, I had something I wanted to say. I don't know. I lost it because we were like Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
Oh no.
We love
It'll
you,
come
Dennis.
back to me. It'll
It
come
will.
back to me. Oh, Dennis. Okay, perfect. I'm
Dennis?
glad that you. Okay, that's what reminded
But I
me.
said
So
Dennis.
yes. Okay, this
Okay.
is this is completely off topic, but that's fine because we love tangents here. There was this commercial that I saw. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was. It wasn't Cedric the Entertainer. It wasn't Bernie Mac. It was. What's that other black dude? I know that there's like so many out there. Here,
Nice job, Mark.
Whatever.
Well, first of all, Bernie Mac is dead.
Yeah, I know.
Rest in peace, Bernie Mac.
Rest in peace. It's
Bernie Mac. My first introduction to Bernie
Craig
Mac.
Robinson. Craig Robinson.
Okay.
Okay. The reason I said those two names is because it was like he reminds me of those guys.
Yeah.
Anyways, Craig Robinson did this commercial with this product, this food product called Dietz Nuts. So, literally
that sounds like something Craig Robinson would do.
the entire ad, and it's an actual product, it's an actual food that you can buy. The entire ad is literally just him making the joke, "These nuts." So it's like, oh, you want some of these nuts? It's meat's nuts. You want some of Dietz Nuts? Oh, yeah, suck on Dietz Nuts. Like,
Is this an old ad?
this is new. This
I
is
feel
recent.
like I've seen this like a long time ago.
I think this is recent. This is like not that long ago, 2 years ago.
Well, let's look it up on YouTube.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Dietz Okay, yeah, so maybe I've seen it. Dietz
Yeah.
Nuts.
Wait.
I'm looking at it. It's like,
Do you hear that?
yeah.
Dietz Nuts. Dietz Nuts. What are those? Dietz Nuts. Dietz and Watson. Dietz Nuts. Those are nuts. Dietz Nuts aren't nuts. Dietz
I've
Nuts are
definitely seen that before.
Anyways, so I saw it. I don't even know what I was watching that had that. I think it was just like maybe a meme compilation. I don't freaking know. But it was in there and I was like, yo, this is hilarious. I didn't even know about this until like yesterday or something.
Yeah. I feel like
But-
I've seen that. That was a long time ago, though.
Saying Dennis is what reminded me of that.
Gotcha.
I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah. Dietz Nuts.
Well,
Dietz Nuts.
Dietz Nuts.
Oh yeah, the end of the podcast is just gonna be, hey, these nuts.
It's going to be, hey, Dietz Nuts. The end of the podcast today is brought to you by Dietz Nuts.
Yes.
It's not, but that's
Hey.
how we're going to get to the end because we are...
Maybe sponsor us,
yeah.
Dietz Nuts.
Hey, Dietz Nuts. I'll eat your nuts. A lot. If
So will
you
I.
sponsor us.
Oh my gosh.
But, yeah. Hey,
End
take it
scene.
away, Mark. I do every outro. It's your turn.
You know what? I haven't done one in a
You
minute,
have
so
not. Go right ahead.
All right. Well, this has been the What Were We Talking About podcast, the cheeky little ear tickler that we call a podcast. Episode 18. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. And my name is Mark Rajan, and this lovely man next to me is Hunter Lop. And we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, we will.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
Peace.